Hi, it's John from North Star Nursery, Garden and Home, your coastal gardener. So I know that we've just kind of come into spring, but the nursery business is kind of always about thinking ahead, almost to a fault. Like I have to order my fruit trees for next year by the end of this month. But getting back to what we want you to start thinking about is your late summer fall bloomers. Sometimes when we're shopping at the nursery in spring, we are buying things that are in bloom. And that's understandable. We get seduced by flowers. It's totally understandable. But what we want to start thinking about is what does our garden look like in fall and or what does our garden look like in winter? And we'll do another video on that. The fall garden is really what kind of carries you through until that first frost in December. So it consists of a lot of very specific plants that bloom that time of year. In the spirit of kind of thinking ahead and knowing that you guys don't know this plant until it's blooming, and when it's blooming, it's not usually available, and that is oregano. This is an ornamental oregano. It is just beginning to do its flower thing. Now, in the spirit of thinking ahead, I had Jen pot up a bunch of these, and what we have is we have the oregano in the center, and when we have the lobelia on either quadrant. Hopefully the idea is that the lobelia with the maroon foliage will set off this green foliage. And of course, these flowers are incredible, but they really, in my opinion, need to be seen from above. So they need to either be in a pot on a pedestal, in a hanging basket, maybe on a wall, a rock wall where it can spill over, because the flowers look like paper lanterns in pink and white and green tones, and it's gorgeous. So that is oregano. The variety is called Kirigami. There's a few other varieties. There's Kent's Beauty and one other. But we have them in right now, so if you want to do some for yourself, now's the time to grab them. Gaillardia. So Gaillardias come in a wide range of colors, and this is a really great bloomer. It has these bright red flowers. It comes in a range of different colors. These little puffballs are actually the seed heads. And what you want to do is actually remove those because you want to not let it go to seed because it'll spend energy doing that as opposed to blooming. This is another form of Gaillardia. This is, it's so funny. The other common name for them is blanket flower. This is Gusto Sweet Chili. So a lot of them are kind of yellow and red toned like that. And some of them have a little bit more of an orange tone. This one's really hard to see. But let's see if I can get it. There we go. That is Lunar Marvel Moon. So these guys bloom kind of late summer all the way through frost, and then they die down to a low mound. So Gaillardia or blanket flower. Bidens are just one of my favorite flowers. These things just bloom like crazy. This one is called Blazing Embers, and this one is missing its tag. Good Lord. Oh well, we'll figure that out later. So we have probably about 5 or 6 varieties of Bidens. Some of them have more of an upright habit. Some of them have a more spilling habit. So if you wanted to do them in a hanging basket, just make sure you're getting the spilling variety. For those of you that are always looking for Bee Balm / Monarda, we have a lot of them in stock right now. 3 colors. They're kind of a similar color range, but so pretty and just great for pollinators. And one other. There we go. So really, really, really great. And also good cut flowers too. Dahlias. Dahlias will take you all the way through, even into the frost sometimes. Mine were blooming very, very late in the season. We have about 7 or 8 varieties in 1-gallon pots. This one is called Double XL Sunset. The Double XL series is actually really good. It's been a great performer. It was relatively new, probably 7 years ago, and just really, really good. There's Tabasco, there's Sunrise, Sunset, lots of different colorways. For those of you with deer and that love yellow, this is Tagetes or Mexican Marigold. When you brush against it, you know you're next to it because it has a very pungent, kind of that quintessential marigold foliage scent, and the deer absolutely hate it. Now, the only thing with these guys is that they do tend to come out of dormancy late here on the coast because we're a little bit cooler, but they're great at coming back year after year, and they bloom their heads off until the first frost. So that's a good one. Also, last year we grew some Coreopsis. This is one variety that we have. We also have this kind of pom-pommy one, and we have them in 1 gallons available now, and you can get yourself a little bit ahead of the program as opposed to doing 4-inch, which we do also have. Agastache. So Agastache is this really weird plant, and it's in the mint family, and that's why deer hate it. And so it's really great for those of you that are trying to do deer resistant and blooms. Again, this is a late summer, fall bloomer, so it tends to, again, come out of dormancy late. So if you have one planted in the ground and it's still not doing anything, give it some time because it really needs the heat to kind of get going. This is another variety called Morello. We usually get 5 or 6 different varieties. These are really, really great because they have the flower and then they have a calyx that is a different color. And so even when they're done blooming, they still look good. Oh, sorry, can't do this and not talk about sunflowers. So this is the problem. Every year, this is what happens. People see sunflowers blooming and they want to come in and buy them. The problem is that unless they're already blooming by that time in the fall, they're not really going to bloom in time. So now is really that time. We've seeded, I think, 3 or 4 different varieties. We have them in 4-inch pots. We have descriptions, and we can also show you colors online if you need to know exactly what it looks like. Salvias. We know salvias just perform like crazy here. And they're one of my favorites. They're deer resistant. A lot of you have been commenting about the planting in the front of the store. That is another salvia from this collection. This is Ember's Wish. There's 3 different skyscraper ones. One's skyscraper pink, orange, and purple. And then this is my all-time favorite salvia, Mystic Spires. And this one, this is young. Once it starts going, it'll actually branch out quite a bit and be about 2 or so feet wide and about 2 or so feet high, and then the flowers spike above that. Great, great deep blue color. Speaking of incredible blue color that, again, when you see this plant, you're not going to think that it's a salvia because it just doesn't have any flowers on it. This is salvia, Blue Angel. For a second, I thought it was named something different now. I know it as Salvia patens. The blue on this flower, this tag does not do it justice. It is a true, true blue, bright blue, and just a great bloomer. The hummingbirds adore it, the butterflies, the bees, really, really good. Lots of other little salvias. This one is Salvia Mesa Azur. This is one of the ones that's hybridized off of the Greggii varieties, which are usually kind of short, about max of about 2 feet. And again, all these salvias and all these late summer, fall bloomers come out of dormancy late. So if you have something at home and it's not doing what you want it to do, fertilize it. Here is that skyscraper pink. I just love this because you have the calyx and then you have the flower, and they're 2 different colors. And so they're just pretty. Helenium. These guys are so great and they're so underutilized. They're just starting to crack some flowers. The other common name for this is sneezeweed, although it's never made me sneeze. But another great bloomer usually tops out, this might be a hybrid, so it might be shorter. They're usually about 2.5 or so feet tall. These are shorter ones, 18 inches tall and wide. So there's that. Of course, you can't be on the coast and not talk about Mexican sage. This is just a beast. This thing blooms its head off pretty much starting, I'd say August or so, and then it just, again, it goes through the frost. Now, this guy is really very frost proof once it's established. So the second and third year, you really don't have to fuss with it too much. If you want to plant them, now's the time to plant them when they're young, because you want to get them more established before that first frost comes. A new plant you should not cut back very hard because you want to leave that crown protected. In the sequential years to come, you can absolutely clear cut it to the ground. You could mow it and it would be fine. It would come back gangbusters. Also, for those of you looking for straw flowers, we're starting to get some in. This is the pink one. We have an orange one out there that isn't blooming, so I just grabbed this one. And we'll continue to try to get more of them as the season progresses, but they are arriving. Almost forgot. This is Salvia Big Swing. Now, unfortunately, the growers don't have any in smaller than 5-gallon pots. This salvia is gorgeous. And actually this summer you'll see it because we planted it around the front gate in the parking lot. And it tops out about 4 or so feet tall with these just sapphire blue flowers that are stunning. And so that will be happening later this summer and you'll be able to experience it. Hopefully by then we'll have some smaller sizes secured. Grasses. This is one of my favorites. I kind of laugh at it because now it's turned into the Taco Bell grass. It's the one that's in front of Taco Bell, and ironically, actually, McDonald's, when they re-landscaped, added some to theirs. Maybe they were trying to work on competition. But this is a great low-profile foliage that's about 2 feet, and then the seed heads get about almost 5 to 6 feet. They start out with a bronzy tone, kind of this darker color, and then as the season progresses, they turn really, really, really light cream color. It's really pretty. These grasses do not want to be cut back like a hedge, so please don't do that. When it goes dormant in the winter, you can cut it to the ground, like an inch above the ground, and it will regenerate. And honestly, that's the best way to handle it because then it grows all new foliage. It looks fresh, it looks good, and by the time spring comes, your grass is all grown in, but the flower seeds will come later. Stipa, feathergrass, also botanical name Nacella, but this has really great movement if you're looking for a grass that volunteers easily and has good movement in the wind. This is another one. We have other grasses coming in, Miscanthus. There's a bunch of other ones coming in because they're starting to become ready. So that is your kind of fall plan ahead preview. And hopefully I gave you some inspiration for your fall garden. It's a lovely day out there. I hope you guys are doing really well, and we look forward to seeing you at the nursery.